what? My job as it now is going to move down the line. I'm going to move down, and I'm somewhere, I'm on my, I've had a decade already. I'm not completely young, I'm not completely old. I want you guys to just keep filling it in. I want to see music win. I want to see music go really well. And I get a little scared sometimes that it might not happen, because I'm like, well, where's the guy who's going to knock me off? It's supposed to happen. It does happen. And if that guy was 12 when he got an email account, and which a lot of you were, that's why it's important that you get as much practice and you get good and you spend 4 hours in a clip without looking up. You know? Those guys, we watched Art Blakey Jazz Messenger's video. Those guys play without looking up. You can tell they don't have a BlackBerry backstage. You can tell. Jimi Hendrix does not have a voicemail waiting. You know? There's no distraction. And I want to see you guys not have distractions, so you can, one of you, if not all, you can come kick my ass. It's how it's supposed to happen. You know, I'm supposed to be the old guy and say these new kids are killing it. You know, so I'm happy to try and explain everything I can. And they're not just myths; they're really excuses. You know, they're just excuses. They sound like platitudes, but they're just excuses.
And I wanted to ask you about your early days. How much? Because a lot of times I find myself challenged by a lot of limiting beliefs and stuff like that, and I'm wondering from a just strictly from a mind point of view, how much were you thinking about those things when you were really young and maybe you didn't start your career yet, and how much is it important to get rid of those?
It's an unbelievable question that I could spend. This won't surprise you, probably an hour. I still think about it. I still think about what would have happened to me if everyone in my life said, you can do it. I would have been happier, but I wouldn't have been as good. And that goes back to the question of what's the balance between good and happy. I would have been a lot happier, a lot more peaceful, but I wouldn't have been as good, because that lack of belief is a fuel, it's a weapon. And you can use it as a weapon. You know? It's freaky. It's so uncomfortable. You think you want the shit, and I don't know, I have friends who aren't in music who came from complete nurturing. But they also don't completely get into the live version of The Ghetto by Donny Hathaway. I find the better your upbringing is, the harder it is to get into The Ghetto by Donny Hathaway. It's a 12-minute long tour de force, awesome track. And you play it for people, and you're like, and you're like, nope, we get, oh, you had a lot of love in your house. No, I had a lot of love in my house. But, you can also say, well, it's just so tricky, man. You have to just navigate through it, man. It's like rough waters. Looking at it now, developmentally, people in high school looked at me like I was the crazy one. And my friends were the ones who were doing all the crazy stuff. But he's going to Penn State next fall. No, he's not. He's jamming coke up his nose. He's probably not going to stay at Penn State. Well, what are you doing, John? I go, I'm going to play guitar. Yes, well, you'll come around. So maybe we talk about barrier entry. Maybe that lack of belief is a test. You just have to do it yourself. You have to believe it in yourself. And there are nights, and I still do it from the heart. There are nights that I go to sleep and I say, all of this sucks. And I love that it sucks, because if I look at my life, I say, I'm having a bad night because I'm a musician. So if you love it so much that you hate it, that you love it on the night you hate it most, maybe it's just a test to find out who's really supposed to be here. Because someone in this room at some point, sadly, is going to go, they're probably right. You know? And then someone else is going to go, I don't care anymore. For me, I pushed so hard. But when I finally made it, I wasn't done pushing. That's what happened in terms of anything that I wouldn't want on my Wikipedia page. The undesirable Wikipedia entries are all from me going, I will show you. You can't say it without swearing. It's so fucking show you, show you, right? And then you get it, and they go, you got it. I go, I will fucking show you. And that's, I think, where the douchebag thing came from. I'm very closely associated with being a douchebag. If I can trace it all to its douchey roots, I would trace it to me still going, I'm gonna fucking show you. Where's the TNC? You right here? I will show you. Like, think you. Everyone was like, we think you're a rock star. Like, you've made it. We regard you. And I didn't understand that because I was so into the. I swear to God, I will show you. I will show you. I will show you. I will be buried in my body. I want more. I want more. And it doesn't wear well if you've already made it. And what I had to do in the last couple of years is fill in those holes, man. Like, still be an artist, but be a grown-up. And right now is where you don't have to be a grown-up. This is where you just put your fire on, man. Go for it. Because nobody has a right to tell you you can't make it. Anybody who's made it would tell you you can make it. Anyone who hasn't made it will tell you you can't. It's a 1-to-1 ratio of what your life experience is. I've never met anybody who made it and told someone else they can't. I don't. I know a few people who haven't made it and told someone else they can, and they're awesome. They're awesome. Stick by those people. Think about people who didn't make it and tell you that they're sure you can. That's an open heart. But I think it's at the end of the day, it's not the worst thing in the world to let that push you into making the best music you can, make a bunch of money from it, and spend it on therapy. Close up your head.
Hello.
Hello.
John.
How are you?
May I give you a high five?
Yes, absolutely. Of course. I don't know what's going to be a high five.
I have a question. I went to your Austin show last year. It was great fun.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
How is it working on World's Deadliest Catch? I'm messing with it.
Have you ever thought about building any guitars?
No, I can't set up my own guitars. I don't know how to do it.
I
I don't know. One time I bought an Ernie Ball music man and took the pickups out and didn't know how to put the new ones in. Yeah, I don't know how to. I don't know how to build amps and guitars. I wish I could. I bought the book one time and I opened it up and I had all these squiggly drawings. I was like, nope. Nope.
I can build you one if you want.
Oh, no, see, this was I like this.
We'll talk afterwards.
Okay. Thanks, man. So we'll do what, maybe four more questions, and I'm going to take you out the stage performance. Why go out with anything else but music? All pace. As soon as the talk is over, boom, 2, 3 old songs, get everybody together, open it up, have a great summer, everybody. All right, sir.
First of all, I just want to thank you for your music.
Oh, you're welcome.
Stop this train specifically. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
So I was wondering, do you associate certain chords or scales or keys or tones with color?
Absolutely. I think everyone does. We tried to chart it one time, figure out like we don't know G is green.
Yeah.
Why? Why is G like orange-ish yellow? Then you start getting fights like G's purple. G is purple? Well, see, but that's the thing. Whatever your answer is, it's really about what your style is going to be because it means what you shy away from, what you use when, like what you're paying. You know, they say that people, like maybe my blue is your green, and that may or may not be true in actual physiological terms, but musically it's absolutely true. That's why you're like, no, I love this music, and I go, how can you like that? I love this music. And it's because of the color that you see. We're both looking at blue. Everybody loves a rainbow, right? But we're just looking at we're picking different colors out as the rainbow. So I think that's cool that it's not the same. But there are certain things that are the same. Certain things that will always work. A 1 chord to a 4 chord will always be that 1. That's always going to do that. There are certain chords now that you can't use anymore. I don't like the 4 minor. I don't agree with it. Never liked it. Stevie Wonder could do it. Maybe a few other people. I don't think it's really necessary. If you can find a real use for it, God bless it. But there's certain things I think might be a little bit played out. But for the most part, it's really whatever you want to you want to pick out as a color you like, and then you just hope that everyone